Do you feel the audience a lot on stage?
Oh yeah, all the time. Yeah.
We ought to tell for people who are going to listen to this, we ought to tell them that on stage with Bob at Wembley, where I think, see if I can remember, Van Morrison, Chrissy Hine.
Yeah, Van Morrison, Chrissy Hine,
Santana?
Santana, Glenn Campbell.
And Tony Tennille. Backups. No, it's the reason I ask that is because in both of the recent times I've seen you don't say much on stage or whatever, but there is an intensity. You do feel and react a lot back and forth.
Yeah. Well, in the recent years, see, this last tour you saw was a little different for me. I just started cut back. You know, it isn't cut back to the way I used to do shows. People don't realize, like, so what's different about it? There is something different about it. And what it was is, you know, the longer you've been around, the more records you make, the more songs you think you have to do. You know, and I've done some shows, 82, 81, 82, 80, 81, 82, where I'd be on stage 3 hours. You know, sometimes 3.5 hours, just because I feel, well, I gotta do this song, I gotta do that, you know, because of all these records I've put out. And I just decided I'm not gonna do that anymore. You know, I went to see the Police, and they were on stage for like maybe 65 minutes. And nobody does that. You know, maybe you know, I don't know. I don't know anybody who thinks they have to do every song of all their albums. You know, and I just can't do that. So I just went back and I said, well, I looked at a song sheet of mine. Somebody showed it to me, actually, from 1964, 65, and there was only 15 songs on it. I couldn't believe it. But you know, after that, if you wanted me, you just keep making more records, and you just add to that.
But song that you mean in the program for
yeah. And there was, so I worked it up until the last tour I did. No, not the last tour, but one in between those tours. I think it was about 82 or something. I was doing 3.5 hours. We had all these songs, you know, I can't do this out. And people calling out for that, well, I gotta do this, you know. And you get such a list of songs. I had other people in the group just singing a few songs here and there to give me a break, you know. And it just didn't work out right. It was too hard, it was too long, it was too time consuming. Then you gotta get on a bus or plane or something and travel out there to the next show and do another 3 hours or 4 hours. You know, so I mean that was just stupid. If I had a manager at that time, I mean, you know, if somebody would have said, hey, you don't have to do that, it's too long.
Do you like performing on stage?
Yeah, if I can just do, you know.
Did you enjoy this tour, Bob?
I usually enjoy every tour, you know, I love it.
You seem to be enjoying Wembley, and honestly.
Yeah, but I enjoy all the tours.
It's tough, though. I mean, it's hard work, isn't it?
Yeah. It's hard work. Yeah, but it's all I can do. I mean, you know, so I either just do it or I don't, you know?
Because you went for a number of years without touring.
Yeah, I did. I usually went from I don't know, maybe 60-something to 70-something without touring. I didn't really miss it. I didn't feel like there was anything out there, you know, that I had to go out there and tour for.
That doesn't sound too up.
No, it wasn't really, but I'm glad I didn't. I mean, I didn't feel I was missing anything. I felt like I gotta get out there.
But you were putting out music.
Yeah, but I got the feeling of Wembley that you absolutely were enjoying it. So
I like that tour. I mean, the whole tour, the entire thing. I mean, every show was a good show with Carlos. I like that bill, the double billing or whatever it was. Certain times you enjoy things more than you do other times. But it was rooted well, and the audiences were great. I do respond to different things on this last tour, and my thing is usually done with, okay, like I'll write the song. The song will be with a lyric or with a rhythm or whatever it is for the song. But then you make the record of it. But for me, it's never been about making records. I like to make good records. But for me, I have to go out and play, and I learned about all that stuff, like videos and things. I mean, I wouldn't mind making videos, but it's nothing for me to try to really attempt to do. I mean, it's because everything is fake, it's like making a movie, it's all fake. They can do this take again, that take again, so it's all on how good it looks. And usually you put a lot of effort, a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of money into fakery. And when you go see some of these groups, I've seen a few of the groups that aren't anything. Like they're just nothing. And that's because they go for the faking thing so much. But in the other arena, I mean, you have to do it live or you just don't do it. You can't do it. So I've always played live. Since I was started out, I've always played live in front of a crowd. And that's the only place that counts for me. Don't count on a video or a movie, or I don't care about being a movie star or a video star or any of that stuff,
Is it the emotional release of performing, or the
Well, I just like to perform these songs. But getting back to that point, a lot of stuff, when I do whatever it is that I'm doing, there's rhythm involved and there's phrasing involved. And that's where it all balances out, in the rhythm of it and in the phrasing of it. It's not in the lyrics. People think it's in the lyrics. Maybe on the records it's in the lyrics, But in a live show it's not on the lyrics. It's in the phrasing and the dynamics and the rhythm. It's got nothing whatsoever to do with the lyrics. I mean, it does. It does have something to do with the lyrics. The lyrics have to be there, for sure they do. But there was this Egyptian singer, Kulthum. Have you ever heard of her? She's one of my favorite singers of all time. I don't understand a word she sings. She'll sing one song that might last for 40 minutes. Same song. And she'll sing the same phrase over and over and over again. In a different way every time. And there's no U.S. Western singer, I think, that's in that kind of category, Except possibly me. but on another level. Do you know what I mean? On another level, because not to put down one culture or another culture, but in the States, so I was in England and in Italy and those places in like '62, and it was appreciated on a level where you're not really quite ever appreciated in this culture, and now even more so, worse off than it used to be, because everything here is instant. It's all got to be instant. It's all quick, and it pounds you on the head. Smash you against the wall. Splatter your face against this and that, and blood and gore and guts, and that to most people is exciting. And I don't think it's reached that level in Europe at all. I mean, it's too not to me. I think that's necessarily exciting or cool or anything like that. They respond to different aspects of the human qualities. But so when I go there and do a show, I can do things that I've forgotten about doing over here because people don't respond to them. We toured in the States. Must have toured the States for like 3 years, from 78 to like 81 or something like that. I don't know. Maybe. We were doing quite a few tours, quite a few shows, and people refer to it as, quote, the gospel period. You know? And there was a lot of, just a lot of, the audience was filled with a lot of false humility. But even so, even if it wasn't there, if people, like, lots of times people are afraid to respond to something that touches them. They don't just, they're mystified by it, you know. They're afraid to express any emotion on something that truly hits them and makes them feel either, you know, uncomfortable. It makes them feel uncomfortable, actually, I think. And if some, you know, but trying to keep this same train of thought. Like I would notice, like in Italy or in France, people applaud certain lines, you know, during the song. They're sung in a certain way, you know. They applaud right in the middle of the song. They'll applaud that line, not because of what the song, not because of what it says, because of the way you might sing it. They don't necessarily do that here. Maybe in New York City they do. You know, I've felt it in New York, and I've felt it maybe in a couple other cities. I've always felt it in about 3 or 4 cities in the States, but that's about it. I felt it in New York. I felt it in New Orleans. I felt it in Austin. I felt it in Los Angeles.
And you sing some tender love songs too. I mean, a lot of the stuff you do has a real sensitivity to it that I think sometimes is yeah, absolutely. The truth,
actually, you know, I've felt it in Chicago too, and in